Hi everyone, we are going to work on completing page 44 and 45 in our social studies workbook. We're going to practice reading a timeline. So you should have already read page 188 and 189 in your textbook before you try to do this, so you know what you're doing. So we are going to start with number 1. When did England first claim land in California? Okay, so we have to look on our timeline for the answer, and we're looking about something about England. So England was Francis Drake. So let's see if we can find Francis Drake on the timeline. So here it says a Spanish ship, no. Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, no. Francis Drake, here it is. Francis Drake claims land around the San Francisco Bay for England. So if we look there, that's in 1579. So we're going to put 1579 for number 1. Okay, number 2. Did the Spanish land in Alta California before or after they landed in Baja California? Okay, so if you know your Spanish, you know that Alta means upper and Baja means lower, so I would assume it's probably after, but let's look at our timeline. Okay, so we're looking for Alta California and Baja California. Okay, so here it says, a Spanish ship sailed by Hernando Cortez lands in Baja California in 1535. And then here, Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo is the first explorer to land in Alta California. So this would be after, right? 1542 is after 1535. So number 2 would be after. Okay, number 3. Who explored Monterey Bay in 1602? So we can just go right to the timeline to where it says 1602, and it says that Sebastian Vizcaíno explored Monterey Bay. So some of you may have been to Monterey Bay. That's where the Monterey Bay Aquarium is, which is really a fantastic place. So this is Sebastian Vizcaíno. Okay. And number 4. Number 4 says, what settlement or settlements were built at San Diego in 1769? Okay, so I'm going to scoot this over so that we can see 1769. All right, so let's look at 1769. So it says, the first mission and presidio are built at San Diego. So we're going to put a mission and a presidio. And remember, the presidio is the fort that protects the mission. And those are in San Diego. Those were the first ones built, we learned. Okay, number 5. Who came to California first? The Spanish or the English? So let's look at our timeline. So it says here, Spanish ship arrived in 1535, and an English ship didn't arrive till 1579. So the Spanish came first to California. So we'll put for number 5, the Spanish. All right, number 6. When did settlers build a pueblo that later became Los Angeles? So we have to look on our timeline to see when the pueblo that later became Los Angeles was built. Okay, so it says here, the first pueblo is built near the town of San Francisco, but that's not the one that became Los Angeles. So we look a little further. Settlers build a pueblo that becomes Los Angeles. So that date is 1781. So we will put 1781 for number 6. All right, moving on to number 7. How many years passed between the building of the first Spanish mission and the building of the first pueblo? Okay, so we have to find the first Spanish mission. So that's right here. The first mission is 1769. And then it says the first pueblo. So here, right next to it, is the first pueblo. So if we have to decide how many years passed between that, we have to do a subtraction problem. So we'll do 1777 minus 1769. And that would equal 8 years. Okay. Number 8, when did the Spanish first come to California? Okay, that's way over here at the beginning of the timeline. The Spanish first came to California in 1535. Okay, so the answer to number 8 is 1535. Okay, number 9, which European nations built settlements in California? Okay, so it says which European nations built settlements in California? So we know that the Spanish built settlements, right? Because they built missions and presidios. And let's see if we can find any other European nations that built settlements. So it does talk about England right here, but England didn't build any settlements. So let's keep looking. Okay, and this is about the Spanish, and this is about Spanish, this is, okay, but right here in 1812, it says the Russians built Fort Ross in Northern California. So we're going to put the Spanish, so that would be Spain and Russia. Those are the names of the nations, Spain and Russia. Okay, number 10. Imagine you are a settler who has come to California in 1770. Would you be able to visit Fort Ross? Okay, so let's look. When was Fort Ross built? Okay, so Fort Ross was built in 1812. So if it wasn't built till 1812, would we be able to visit in 1770? No. And we'll say it was built in 1812. All right. And the last one, number 11. Look at the timeline. Read the entry for 1769. Did this event happen in the past, the present, or the future? Okay, so basically they're asking, is 1769 in the past, the present, or the future? It is definitely in the past. So we'll put, it's in the past. Maybe I'll put the past, right? It happened a long time ago, so it is in the past. And that's it for our workbook page.